Good afternoon. My name is Officer Gunderson with your College DuPage Police Department. Today I'm joined with Officer Goddard from Wheaton Police Department. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I wanted to talk to you about our student worker program here on campus. For those of you guys who don't know what our student worker program is, do you mind just giving a brief summary of what it is?
Yeah, this is for College DuPage students who are enrolled in taking at least 6 credit hours worth of classes
Mm-hmm.
in the fall and spring semesters, and they're taking at least 1 credit hour during the summer semester.
Yeah.
In addition to that, students need to maintain a 2.0 GPA.
Yeah, and it's a part of our the federal work study program, so it is a paid position, right? We do have two positions for student workers. The first being a police service desk position, and the second being a community service officer position. The police service desk position kind of helps with like lost and found, giving directions, and like issuing keys to employees on campus. You are a community service officer.
Yeah.
Can you kind of describe the description of that position?
Yeah, so a community service officer is a position that every police department has.
Mhm.
It's a non-sworn position, so officers typically help with non-police or not, I should say non-criminal calls for service.
Mhm.
Here at the college, those non-criminal service calls look like doing room openings, jump starts, lockouts. They also helped with parking enforcement, did foot patrols, and the community service officers here have the opportunity to become a state certified dispatcher with the department.
It's a great opportunity. I know that was a lot of information, but what was your like personal experience like as a community service officer here?
Yeah, I loved it. It was such a great experience while I was a college student. I think it really helped me out with becoming a police officer, doing the job I'm doing today, but also helped me in the moment when I was a student here taking classes.
One of the things I like to tell people is that it's a very flexible position.
Yeah.
It really works with your schedule as both a student and an employee.
Oh, yeah.
So, you want to talk about how you were able to balance your schoolwork and your position?
Yeah, it was great. It was really convenient because
Mhm.
my employer and where I was attending college all in the same place.
Yep.
So it was great because each semester I would pick out my classes for the
Mhm.
semester. And after picking my classes, I'd sit down with the police sergeant that was in charge of us
Mhm.
and go over our schedules. So I would either work before classes if I had afternoon or evening classes,
Mhm.
or I would work right after my classes when I had morning classes. So it was really flexible. It was very convenient because I literally got to drive here, go to school, work, go home. I didn't have to do a lot of driving. It was all
Yeah,
in one
saves you the
place.
trip there.
Yeah,
You now work for Wheaton Police Department.
I do.
What was your experience, or how was your experience as a student employee beneficial to the job you do now?
Yeah, I think it was super imperative and great because being able to be a student, even though it's a student position, you're still working for a police department.
Mhm.
So there's still that level of this is the real deal.
Mhm.
So it helped me, and I saw especially while I was interviewing, while I was applying to police departments, and then once I was fortunate enough to get hired and I went to the police academy,
Mhm.
I saw that my experience here really helped me out through the police academy and through the field training program versus my fellow colleagues that didn't work as a community service officer prior to becoming a police officer. Just once you're in this day in and day out, you really get to experience a totally new culture and totally get to see what the policing culture is firsthand.
Mhm. So you'd say you feel more prepared about your career in law enforcement
Yeah,
now, given this
absolutely.
experience.
Yes.
Was there anything that transferred directly from your experience as a student worker to the job you do now?
I think a lot of things because you start seeing uh, how officers investigate crimes, how they handle police calls for service. In addition to that, becoming a certified dispatcher,
Mhm.
I was doing all the things that any dispatcher for any police department does in the state. And all of that ties into what I do now out in the streets. So it really helped me have a bigger understanding of what goes on even behind the scenes or uh, things that affect my job on the streets. So it just gave me so much of a broader understanding, which helps me in turn become a way more effective and efficient police officer.
Mhm. Um, would you say you were more confident interviewing for like positions with this experience?
Yes, yes, I was because not only because this gave me the background now
Mhm.
to say that I at the time was working for a police department,
Mhm.
not yet as a police officer, but being able to also speak with my coworkers who were police officers, with my supervisors who were police supervisors.
Hmm.
It really helped me hone in on my interview skills. It helped me hone in on my knowledge and abilities, which ultimately helped me land the job I have now.
That's great. Were there any like unforeseen benefits you took away that you weren't expecting to take away?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing was friendships,
Hmm.
because I worked in a group of other student workers, fellow student
Hmm.
workers who are also had the same aspirations and dreams of working in law enforcement and working here and working towards those goals. I felt really united us,
Yeah.
and even to this day, my friends that I worked with as student workers are my closest friends I have, literally to this day.
Hmm.
And a lot of all of us were very fortunate enough, became police officers. Since then, some have left the profession
Hmm.
to chase other goals and careers and dreams. But some of us still remain in law enforcement, and I have a lot of friends who work for other police departments in this area that I worked with as a student worker. Not to mention, I have a lot of friends at this department still. So
Small world.
yeah, it's a very small world. So I would say that I didn't even think that would be a possibility or that would happen,
Yeah.
but I so happy that it did, and it was a very I was very happy to go through the program, and now I have lifelong close friends.
Being as old as you are now, if you could do it over, would you change your experience as a student worker?
No, I wouldn't change it at all. I really thought that this was just the best job to have,
Hmm.
pursuing a career in law enforcement. I wouldn't change anything about it, and I had a really good time, a really fun time working here at the college.
For anyone that's considering applying but they just haven't, or they're hesitant to, what would your advice to them be?
I would say to apply. You have nothing to lose because I think fear or being nervous about taking on a challenging role, taking on a new, um, yeah, just like a new challenge in life can be difficult, but just do it anyways. Push through. You have so much to gain by
Hmm.
working here. I can't even say like how much you can gain. You have so much to gain. Being a student worker here, don't take every possibility and every opportunity that you can.
Hmm.
So I would say apply, go for it, because the rewards were great. They were great for me. I was very happy to have worked here.
Well, that was the last question I have, but I want to thank you for taking your time out of your day to come speak to me. And then for those of you who are interested, if you go to student employment at the College of DuPage, the positions openings happen at the start of every semester. So if this is something you're interested in, go ahead there and apply. Hey, everybody. It's Officer Gunderson again, and I'm joined with a new guest. This time it's Officer Nichols with Addison Police Department. You are a part of our student worker program as well. Do you just want to talk about your experience as a student worker?
Yeah, as a student worker here in the College of DuPage Police Department, it was beneficial. I mean, we got to meet and deal with the community on multiple opportunities, so it was just a great experience.
One of the things I like to tell people is that it's a very flexible work schedule, being both a student and an employee. How are you able to balance that in your experience?
Yeah, so as a student, I mean, we all know that, there's times where you're picking classes and you can't get that class that lines up back to back and you have a 4 hour gap in the middle or 5 hour gap. Me being me, I was a hard worker, so what better opportunity than to earn some money and get into the field that I wanted to be a part of. So with that being said, the College of DuPage Police Department was very helpful and it gave me the opportunity, I should say, to work whatever hours I needed to for my schedule. So whether it be, taking 4 hours here and then finishing out a 4 hour shift, and that was what it was. And it was just great. It was very flexible, very easy to work with.
That's awesome. You now work for Addison Police Department. How is your experience now? Or how is your experience as a student worker beneficial to what you do now?
So as a student worker, we got to get out in the community. We got to talk with our peers. A lot of times now, typically now I'm dealing with kids that are, of the ages of 15 all the way until like 25. That's our typical, crime group that we're kind of seeing, at least right now where I'm from. So being able to adjust within the community that you're already working within, that there's 18 years old, 19, 20 years old, where you guys are all amongst the same, amongst your peers. It's great to talk with them and understand what's relatable, because then when you get out in the field and you're talking with the same individuals, it's all the same stuff. It's still relatable, music, all that kind of stuff.
Do you feel more prepared given your experience as a student worker?
Definitely. I would say as a student worker, like I said, being able to get out in the community and talk with people, that kind of gave me my foot in the door, figured out how I could talk with people better and how I could build a relationship and rapport amongst the individual quicker. And obviously in the field of law enforcement, that's important.
Was there anything that transferred directly from your experience to what you do now?
Yeah, I would say one thing that definitely transferred directly is the dispatch certification. When we were in the student work program, we took on the role of dispatching as well. So being lead certified and being able to understand what dispatchers are doing and how long it can take to actually get you the resources that you need. That's definitely something that transfers, and how to even read the responses that are coming through on the terminals. That's definitely something that was key and important and gave me a leg up over everyone else.
One of the questions I get a lot for people that want to start applying to departments is they're always super nervous about the interview process. Was there anything, were you more confident in your going through the interview process, having this previous experience now?
I would say definitely. Having this background, especially when we sat in a group of 5 amongst like a group interview, which is very common nowadays, I would sit there and I'd be able to express on the table that I've worked for a police department before. I had a opportunity to kind of see how it functions, learn 10 codes, learn how to dispatch and how leads entry and all that kind of stuff works. And that gave me a leg up, especially to the people who were asking the questions, and it diversified me from the group that I was interviewing amongst.
Was there any unforeseen benefits that you took away that you didn't anticipating taking on when you first applied?
Yeah, one of the biggest unforeseen benefits was the community relations, like the other coworkers that we worked with. So we all became kind of very close. We all joined up in the field together. Some of us still work in the area. Some of us moved out of the area. But we're all still within the state. So having that connection and being able to, phone a friend when you're out of the county or out of your town where you're working from, it's definitely a key resource to have, and it helps with everything in investigations especially.
If you had the opportunity to do it all over again, would you change your experience as a student worker at all?
No, I wouldn't change anything I did as a student worker. It was a great opportunity for me. It was like a blessing in disguise. I really didn't know too much about it, but once we jumped into it and we started getting hands-on and learning everything, and it was a great opportunity to get in the community and just speak with people and learn how a police department works. It ensured to me that this was the job that I was wanting to go after.
What would your advice be for somebody that's kind of thinking about applying, but they're kind of on the fence about it? What would your advice be to that person?
My advice to that person would be that you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. It's a quote that I kind of read back in the day and kind of stuck by. If you're looking to join up in the field, this is a great opportunity. You're young. You can step into the door and see what the light's like and kind of try it out. And if it's not something you like to do and it's not something that you want to stick to, well, then you have the opportunity to change your career path and become a firefighter or do something else with your life.
That's a funny one. Thank you, Officer Nichols, for taking the time out of your day to come talk to me. For those of you guys who are interested, if you go to student employment at College of DuPage, we open up the positions at the start of every semester. And so if that's something you're interested in, that's where you'd be able to apply it. So thank you guys all for taking the time, and thank you for coming and talking to me, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.